Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, All Things in Yori. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe down below. It would really help me. If you're not new here, welcome back and thank you for watching my video. So today, as you can see in the title, we're going to talk about how I bought my house at the age of 21. Yes, I bought my house when I was 21 years old. I'm currently 22 and I'm about to turn 23. Very exciting. So very realistic how fast time goes by, how quick, adulting is. So yeah, I want to go ahead and share with you how I bought my home. I have a hard time believing that myself, but ever since I was a little girl, I always told my mom that, the day that I would leave my house, my parents' house, the house that, I grew up in, leaving their side, it would always be to my house, to my own house, which is crazy because, when you're little, anything's possible. But as you grow up, you realize that things are not easy. Buying a house is not easy. Buying a home is one of the hardest things that you can possibly do as an adult. Buying a car isn't easy. Having good credit score isn't easy when you're an adult. They didn't even teach you about these things when you become an adult. They don't teach you how to do your taxes. They don't teach you about having good credit and how important it is to have good credit. So, these are all things that I learned, and I thank God that I had someone who had my back and really showed me the ways of, how to get a good credit score, how to, get a car, get a house. So, what I mean by that is my husband, I love him. He really showed me, a lot of things. I feel like I've learned a lot of things about adulting and all these stuff through him and how he knows all of this. So it's really cool to have someone who can really show you the ways of being an adult and how to go about it. Anyways, let's get more in depth to why you clicked this video. Okay, so I made a list with things that helped me in buying my house and what I wish I would have known prior to purchasing my home. If you are currently buying a house, if you are thinking about buying a house, if you are planning in the future to buy a house, just stuff that, I wish somebody would have told me. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, just to give you a little bit of information about me and my husband and how we bought our house. So my husband was in the military. He was a Marine. And if you know about the military, you know that there is a VA loan, and that is specifically for veterans who served in the military, which is something that the government does for them, which is amazing that, so it makes it easier for them to purchase their house with 0 down payment, which is a lot of help. I know there's help out there for first-time buyers that aren't necessarily veterans, which is amazing. Always ask for that. If you're a first-time buyer, you've never bought a house before, always ask for first-time buyer, specialties. That way you can get, the most benefit for your bucks, because it is hard to buy a house. It isn't something that, you just wake up and you're like, I'm gonna buy a house today, and then bam, you bought a house. It isn't. It's a long process. It's something that you have to think about. It's not something that's easy. So always accessorize yourself with people who know what they're doing, that they're gonna lead you to the right path so that you can get what you want. Now, with that being said, we actually have a VA loan in our home because of my husband, and because he was ex-military. We were blessed to be able to have a VA loan. So that was one of the things that helped us a lot and benefited us a lot. So yes. And now the second thing is a pre-approval. If you don't know what a pre-approval is, it's a letter basically letting you know how much money the bank is letting you borrow. That way you know what price point you're looking at for houses, whether you go to one bank, two banks, three banks, it is up to you. The thing is that with getting pre-approvals, you are having your credit score ran. And if you know anything about having your credit score being ran, is that where you have your credit score being ran, the lower it will get. But if you're smart, you maybe only need to have it ran once, and that way you can shop. So just doing the pre-approval, just because it'll let you know where you want to be, because there's really nice houses that are gonna be out of your range, out of what you are approved for, and you have to know that, because you wouldn't want to be falling in love with a house and then have it be way over what a bank would even let you borrow, or maybe you're thinking that you might just have the low end of the spectrum and you're just like, I'm not gonna be able to get that much money, when maybe you qualify for a little bit more, and maybe you can get that dream house that you've always wished and always dreamed of. So it just really depends on where you want to be at, and where that you want to set yourself to. With a pre-approval, it's great because it gives you a foundation of where to start and where you want to be at. And now also something that I want to add on there is location. Location is very important when you're buying your house, and that's only because location because where you have your house is gonna affect how much it costs. If you live in California, you know that California is really, really expensive, really pricey. New York is really, really pricey, and there's San Francisco is really, really pricey. There's places where that the house is gonna be more because of where it's at, where it's built. So with that in mind, if you want to get the more worth out of your money, then maybe do those 20, 30, 40-minute drives to get a better house, a bigger house that is gonna make your money stretch out. I know that with city like locations, when you're on a city, it's gonna be more expensive whether you're in a smaller town or a less well-known city than a big city. So just really think about that. Do you want your money to be stretched, or are you okay with, compounding your money a little bit? And if you're okay with that, that's fine. Some people really do care about their location. Some people do care. I want to live in the city. I want to be like where there's a lot of people and a lot of movement, and I don't care to spend a little bit more to have that, versus other people will have those 20, 30, 40-minute drives and have their money stretched a little bit more because you want more space, because you want to have a bigger house. And that's fine. Either or, whatever you choose, it's fine. It just depends on the person, on who you are, because it is your money and it is your house. So those are just things to think about. Now, second, with buying a house comes a real estate agent. Very important, just because they are going to be doing all the paperwork part of it. And it's important to get a real estate agent that really sees your vision, really takes in everything that you're wanting out of your house, because you are buying it. There is no I regret it, take it back. No, It's a long process to buy and to sell. So this is something that you have to think about. Do I really love it? Do I really want to be here? So let your real estate agent know. There's things that you must have in your house because you know yourself. You're like, if I'm going to buy this house, it has to have this, it has to have that. So really think about within yourself, what are the things that I really want to have and I don't want to compromise in. Just to give you some examples, when me and my husband were looking for a house, something that I really wanted was a walk-in closet, just because if you know me, you know I love clothes and I have so much clothes, and I was like, we need a walk-in closet because I cannot just do with like the sliding doors. I have too much clothes, and my dream has always been to have a big closet. And so that was one of the things, as well as like double sinks in the master bedroom, just because I like having my space in my sink. That's something that I knew I wanted to have, like the dual sink, and it's something that I wasn't wanting to compromise in. And I know I also wanted, I really always wanted to have like a 2-story house. I just felt like it's a cool like experience, to have it be like where your living room, your kitchen is downstairs, and then like the upstairs is all like, you get a second living room, a loft, a media room, whatever that case is. But I just wanted to have a 2-story house. And so those are just examples. Obviously there's more. There's stuff that my husband really wanted and didn't want to budge on. So it depends on yourself and what you really want out of a house and what you're not willing to budge on. And there's things that you can compromise, there's things that you're okay with not having. And now my next one is prepare yourself for a long process. And this is something that actually my husband told me when we were like buying a house, when we were looking for a house. He's like, baby, this is not gonna be easy, this is gonna be hard. There's things that like sometimes you're gonna get frustrated and sometimes you're gonna get mad, but you have to understand that it's part of the process. And really, I didn't think about it then. I was like, oh no, I don't think so. But naive me was like, oh no, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. It is a long process. Let me tell you, it's a long process. And not because like it's a bad process or it's a process. No, it's a long process full of like ups and downs. And it's just because it's not easy. Like sometimes you go and see a house, you fall in love with it, it falls under the right price, and you're like, yes, I want it, I'm excited, let's put in the paperwork, let's make an offer. And then maybe the house is so popular and they have like 15 offers in one day, and they end up not really going for your offer, and you get so excited because you think like, oh, this is it, I have a feeling, and it doesn't work out. And let me tell you, that is going to happen. It's going to happen. And that's just because it's just part of the process. Sometimes you're going to get lucky and it's going to go smoothly, and that's awesome. But sometimes it's not. And most likely it's not. It's part of, the process. And you don't have to be down about it. Just think about, there's a bigger plan in this, and maybe this house wasn't for me. Take it as a sign and say, the house that is supposed to be for me is gonna come, and I just have to know that it's there. Just have good positive vibes, and trust me, it'll take you a lot better than having negativity and being like, I'm just don't wanting to do this anymore, I'm done. It's a long process. If you're doing this with your husband, your boyfriend, your fiance, lean on each other, help each other out, and know that like this is gonna be so much better for your relationship and for your future. If you're buying a house by yourself, awesome. Like, don't rush into it. This is your home. This is something that's gonna be yours. Put all of you and everything that you love into this house. You don't have to rush it. It's gonna happen. You just have to let it happen. And now, my next thing is Zillow is going to be your best friend. I know when I was looking for a house, I wasn't on Zillow, the app, like 24/7 every day. I was looking at new houses that came on the market. I was sending my husband like the share and the screenshot. So I'm like, oh, look at this house. It has this and this and that. Like, do you like it? And then he would, go through it. And then if we both really liked it, we would send it to our real estate agent so that she would see it, and then, she could get us to go ahead and see it. And that's like how the process is. Really, you have to be as involved as the real estate. You have to be like, hey, I just saw this house go on the market. I really like it. Let's see what we can do to go see it. And then she's gonna go ahead and give you all that information as to like, how much it costs, the rush, the this, the that, and it's a hand-in-hand process. And I think Zillow does a really good job of showing you, like, if you want to go by location, it shows you a really good side of where you can draw where exactly what areas you want to look for, or price points, bedroom size of the house. It's really good for that. So I suggest using Zillow if you're looking for a house, because that is going to help you a lot. Next thing is to use a mortgage calculator on Google. I know my husband did this all the time. I didn't do it so myself, but I saw my husband do it all the time. And what he would do is he would estimate the cost of the house, how much the mortgage would be for that month, per month for the house if we were to buy it. So I always thought that was awesome, because you really don't think about that. Like, at first you just think about the whole price, right? Because you're buying the house, so you're thinking the big number instead of like the little number monthly. And it's important because it's good for you to know this. That way you like have a number on your head that's like, this is the number I want to be at, this is the number that I want to stay at. That way you don't build yourself up for downfalls, because there is going to be houses that you're gonna love and they're gonna be too expensive, because it happens, like, that is life. You're not just gonna buy like a mansion for your first house. It just doesn't happen. So that's a really good way to really just like help you, just keep it realistic and keep it where, you're not setting yourself up for failure or for disappointment. My next tip is just to chase your dreams of buying a house, and let it take you where it needs to take you. I think that's sometimes when you're buying a house, you get too much into your head of like, I don't know, like, can I afford this house? Do I even want to be doing this? Like, is this too much? Like, should I just give up on it and do it later down the line? Like, if there's a way you can do it, make it happen. Buying a house is one of the most beautiful things in the world, and really it's so important for you, for your kids, for years to come. Like, buying a house it's like a gift you can give your kid for years. A roof over their head, something that is yours to call yours, something that you're not gonna get kicked out of next year because they're selling the house, and now you have to look for a house to move in 30 days or 2 months. No, like, this is your house. If you want to stay in it for the rest of your life, you can stay in it for the rest of your life, because it's yours. So don't give up on your dreams. Chase them. And sometimes that might have to be delayed a little bit, but don't let that bring you down. Let it motivate you and push you to do even better. So my last tip is just to really compare not only the houses and see like which value is better for you location wise, really, even like with your real estate agent, really compare who's gonna really look after you and who's gonna really like help you get to where you want to be. Even with like mortgage companies, compare which one would give you more, approve you for more money, and if that's what you're wanting, like, really shop around. Don't feel like you have to stay with somebody just because maybe they're the first person that you spoke to. or because they were really nice to you at the beginning, or they're still really nice to you. No, this is your house, this is your process. And if they're not doing everything in their hands to get you to where you want to be, then maybe it's time that you find somebody else who will get you to where you want to be. I know we started off with a different mortgage company at the beginning, and they were good. Like, I felt like they did our process good. Like, I had no complaint. But when it got to a part where it was too much, they were really working with my real estate agent to, help us get to where we wanted to be. We changed that, and we had to get somebody who was gonna get us to where we wanted to be. So we did so, and we got there. Had we not made that change, we probably would not be in my house where we are, So I have to tell you, if you have to make that change and it's a hard process, do it, because it's going to benefit you in the long run. You have to think about those things. You have to think about where you want to be, and if those people aren't helping you, then skirt, get you somebody who is going to get you there, because that is important. At the end of the day, they are getting paid for this. They're getting commission off of this. So you have to think about this. This is their job. If they're not getting you where you want to be, you need to find somebody else. Okay, now with that being said, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that these tips helped you guys. I hope that you've learned something out of this. If you have any other questions, ask me down below. I'd be happy to help you guys to answer some questions. I also want to do more videos like this, kind of just giving you guys content like this. If you guys like this, let me know, because I have some other stuff planned. Thank you guys so much for watching. Besos. Bye.